In the world, people born between 1997 and 2012 are called Generation Z, Gen Z. If you were born in this period, you are part of Gen Z. This generation is considered special because they were born at a time when the world was moving from an old era to a revolutionary era. They have witnessed and experienced all the world's progress from childhood to youth. Today, their population ranges from over 2.5 billion to 6.2 billion, and in many parts of the world, they make up a large portion of the population. But it doesn't end there. Compared to all previous generations, Gen Z has more conveniences and opportunities. At the same time, they also face the struggles, challenges, and hardships that previous generations went through. Despite this, the world expects Gen Z not only to maintain global progress but also to lead it into another revolutionary era. Understanding generations. How can we understand Gen Z, their challenges, abilities, and why they are considered different from previous generations? After the First World War, generations were divided into different categories. This was done so that each generation could think according to its time and utilize the resources and opportunities available in their environment. When generations are categorized, countries align their educational curricula with their generation. Traders and business owners organize their businesses according to the mindset of their generation. Governments are also compelled to create policies based on the thinking of the new generation. Understanding previous and current generations is essential because every generation is raised in a specific time with its own mindset. If a person has knowledge about previous and upcoming generations, they can create a successful path in life. Without this knowledge, a person may face challenges and problems in family, business, and society. For example, a boy raised in the current technological era spends all day searching the internet for information, studying online, and reading digital books. If his father was raised in a time when online technology did not exist and tries to raise his son as he was raised, without using the internet and technology, there will be a conflict between the old and new generations. Similarly, if a person's childhood and youth was spent only with a radio, and he forces his child to experience the same, the modern generation cannot follow that old lifestyle. Research shows that the modern world has advanced so much that if someone from 1920 were to come back to life and see today's youth, they would think these people came from another planet. The lifestyle, communication systems, education, and mindset of the modern generation have completely changed, and their minds have developed significantly. Previous generations faced their own challenges and built their lives according to the circumstances of their era, and for many, their lives were considered successful and advanced. For example, the silent generation, born between 1925 and 1945, grew up during world wars. Their focus was on survival and rebuilding their countries destroyed by wars. After them, the baby boomers, born between 1946 and 1964, grew up in a world that had newly achieved peace. The goal was to strengthen the economy, and although they experienced some technological developments, they did not prioritize technology. If baby boomers are alive today, they would be elderly, often retired. Next came Generation X, born between 1965 and 1980. They experienced globalization for the first time, observing world economic development and technological progress. Their focus was on living freely and independently. Today, they are between 45 and 60 years old, still active, and many work in high government positions. After Generation X, millennials were born between 1980 and 1996. Currently, millennials are 29 to 45 years old. They were the first generation to experience the internet and became familiar with global issues like terrorism and climate change. They introduced the digital world, bridging older and younger generations. They were the first to transition from radios and tapes to television and computers and were the first to play digital games. Social media also emerged and became popular during their youth. Millennials transformed technology from older forms to modern digital forms. Next comes Generation Z, born between 1997 and 2012. In 2025, they are between 17 and 28 years old and are considered the most important generation of the current era. They grew up during rapid global changes, experiencing technology in an era where many things were already digital. In the next 10 to 20 years, this generation will be responsible for global decision-making and finding new ways for progress. Because of this, Gen Z is given great importance, and extensive research has been conducted on them. They have even been called the hero generation. Some key characteristics of Gen Z, identified through various studies. Social and personal relationships of Gen Z are completely different from previous generations. They try to maintain most of their relationships online and make new friends through social media. Real-world interactions are less important than online ones. They constantly think about eliminating cultural practices and customs that hinder society, using social media and open debates to challenge old norms. Gen Z adapts quickly to global changes. For example, when television was first invented, older generations feared it, but Gen Z easily adopts new technology and uses it effectively, as seen with social media. They seek innovative ways to earn money. While previous generations traveled physically for work, Gen Z can earn significant income online from home using the internet and computers. Technology allows them to learn any skill, gain knowledge, and showcase their talents globally through platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Fame that previously required TV, radio, or film can now be achieved quickly via social media. Despite these opportunities, Gen Z faces significant challenges. Reports indicate that compared to previous generations, they experience more mental and emotional difficulties. About 70% of Gen Z suffers from anxiety and depression. Social media use negatively affects mental health, as people compare themselves to others online, leading to feelings of inadequacy or superiority. Choosing a career is also challenging for them, and many feel lost regarding their professional paths, which affects national and economic development. Technology provides opportunities but also creates obstacles. Gen Z must work on themselves, stay updated with new innovations, and familiarize themselves with modern technology. At the same time, experts recommend that they maintain mental health alongside technological skills. Governments invest in Gen Z, creating education systems tailored to modern times, policies that consider their needs, aspirations, and desires. This ensures that in the next 20 years, Gen Z will lead in managing a highly digitalized world. Countries that prepared their youth for modern times 30 years ago now hold the most global influence, while those that did not fall behind. Research on generations can provide further insights. You can read books and search online to learn more about Gen Z and other generations. If this helped with you, please subscribe.